Being a single mom and doing it all by yourself is brutal. Learn the brain and energy tools to get back to your center and overcome your challenges. Welcome to Single Moms Doing It All. Today, we are going to talk about gratitude because we're getting close to Thanksgiving. This is actually Thanksgiving's week here in the US. And as you know, if you listen to my podcast for a long time, every Thanksgiving week, I do something around gratitude, or some people say thankfulness, to remind us why, and today also a little bit how to be grateful. And I named it Gratitude No Thank You, because sometimes, and especially now with everything going on in the world, with the COVID pandemic and us being forced to change the way we're living, we may not be wanting to be grateful. We may even be irritated by the idea because we tell ourselves that there is really nothing to be grateful for in this period, and it sucks. You can do what you want. You can see who you want, etc., etc., etc. From personally going through stuff that were very challenging in my life and all the studies that were made, and from also what we can learn from the ancient wisdom that is out there, there is always, in everything that happens, there is always good or bad. And today I was in particular reminded about the fact that we are serving our happiness at a higher level if we can approach the events and the situations of our lives with more neutrality, remembering that it's not good, it's not bad, it just is. And you probably have heard that story. I've heard so many versions of it throughout the years. I've heard some people saying that it came from India, some people saying that it comes from the Talmud, the Jewish, one of the Jewish Torah books. Others said that it's an ancient story from the Native Americans. Really, I'm not sure where it comes from, and it has been made in many versions. I'm going to give you a version of that story today just to illustrate what I'm talking about, the not good, not bad. So it's the story of a man who was a very humble farmer who decided that to be able to live better, he would start breeding horses. And he had to buy a horse, a stallion, which was very, very expensive and was very, very hard for him to buy. He borrowed the money to buy that horse. So he bought the stallion, and a few days later, the stallion decided to escape and run away. So the people of his village came to him, bringing him comfort and really telling him, "Oh, my poor sir, you're so unlucky. It's so bad what's happening to you. You borrowed the money to buy the horse and now it's not even here. That is so unfortunate." And the man's response was, "It's not good, it's not bad. We don't know." A few days later, the horse came back. He had encountered wild horses, and he came back with them, with 5 other wild horses, and decided to stay at the farm. So then again, the people of the village came to that man and said, "Oh, you're so lucky. How fortunate are you? Look, you spent the money to buy 1 horse only, and now you have 6. How lucky you are." And the same response was given by the man. "It's not good, It's not bad. We don't know. Then the man's horse started to train the horses. And doing so, he fell and damaged his leg, which left him limping. So again, the people of the village came to say how unlucky it was and how sad and unfortunate it was, and really bringing comfort to the man. And his response was again, it's not good, it's not bad, we don't know. A few months later, the kingdom declared war to a kingdom next, a neighbor kingdom. And the army was going around all the small villages to enlist all the young men that could fight. Because the man's son had damaged his leg, he wasn't considered fit to fight. So they didn't take him. Again, the people of the village came and said, you're so lucky, they took our sons, and here you are, your son doesn't have to go because of that injury. How lucky you are. And the man again responded, it's not good, it's not bad, we don't know. And it goes on like this. Because the truth is, there is good and bad in everything that happens. But if we're able to see what's going on in a more neutral way, we can decide to discover the gift in what's happening and to be grateful for it. So gratitude, I'm sure you know that gratitude is so good for us and that it has many, many benefits. I would like to share a few of them with you today. Of course, obviously, when we focus on something that we're grateful for, we're happier. So to start there, happiness is one of the main goals all over the world. So it's already reaching one of the main goals, helping us reach that goal. It helps with depression. And I know from personal experience that when I was in depression, trying to find stuff that I was grateful for wasn't that easy, but it always helped when I tried to focus on what was good. And I'll share some ways with you at the end if you have a hard time finding stuff to be grateful for. It will also help you develop more resilience because when you are grateful, you feel better, you're better able to bounce back from your challenges or from whatever is happening to you. And as you know, when you repeat something over and over with emotion, it will rewire your brain. So here you are with the potential to rewire your brain to have a more positive quota in your life. Like the positive moments will outweigh the negative moments. And I'm talking about perception, not about what's happening, because we have no control over that. And I'll do an episode about control too, and how it helps us or ruins our life. You will be positive more often. And as you know, I don't know if you've heard about Dr. Joe Dispenza, but he's one who says that. Dr. Bruce Lipton says the same thing. The more we repeat something, the more we wire our brain, the more it becomes a habit of thought, and at the end, it becomes your personality as well. It will also have many health benefits. It can improve your sleep. It can help with reduce the pain level in your body because it acts like an analgesic, and it stimulates the release of endogenous opioids. When you're grateful, when you practice gratitude on a regular basis, so your pain tolerance will also go higher. It can help you with lowering your blood pressure, and I was actually talking to a friend of mine this week who sees patients. She's a physical therapist, and she was saying that she has one patient in particular who started meditating and practicing gratitude twice a day, and she literally was able to get off her blood pressure medication. So, of course, that's an isolated case, but there are studies about that, proving that it's actually an effect. It can strengthen your immune system because the more positive you are, the less stressed you are, because the more grateful you are, the less you're going to stress about the negative effect. Your immune system goes up. It will overall help you live longer and healthier, and it will help your relationships because you're a more positive person. And when you become more positive, people want to be around you more. So those are a few benefits from gratitude. Now, the counter-argument that I received often when I talked about gratitude in the past is it's too simple. That's not that simple. It cannot solve everything. Of course, it cannot solve everything. But when you know something in your mind, in your head, and you don't apply it, you can't even start talking because you haven't experienced it really. It is just a knowledge. And as you know, knowledge will never change your life. That's why in my coaching and in my membership, I'm really, really strong on experiential, on making people experience the concepts that I'm bringing, experience the change in their body, because that's what really will create the change in your life and in your brain. So when you say it's too simple without even giving it a try for at least... So I was listening to something and he was saying that, I forgot who it was. I'm going to research, and I think maybe it was someone who was talking about neuroscience, the brain. And he was explaining that it takes between 60 to 365 days. Or was it 30? I wrote it down. I think it was between 30 and 365 days to change a habit. So it depends on what it is, how imprinted it is in your subconscious, and how often you practice, you are engaged in the practice of changing the habit. So if you want to try gratitude, I would say try it for 30 days and even more. It has been something that has created miracles in my life, to be grateful for what is. And even as I am, because I do affirmations in writing and I love doing gratitude affirmations in writing, I also do them orally, but writing for me is really, it makes the feeling stronger. And I see that after I finish a page of gratitude, I feel much better. I feel sometimes if something really hard is going on, I feel neutral. Sometimes I feel completely positive. But the more I do it, the more I feel stronger, more positive, more resilient. And it creates miracles. When you start mixing gratitude for what's happening, what you have in your life, and what you wish will happen in the present tense. As you remember, affirmations are always created in the present tense with no negatives. It brought me, and I'm sure you've heard it in other episodes, it brought me gifts from life that literally fell on my laps. So that it's too simple. If you hear yourself saying that cannot be that simple, decide to make an experiment and to put that too simple in a closet for 3 months and give it a try for 3 months. And then come back and see if you don't have. I would even keep tracks in writing. I would write where I am, when I started, what is my dominant emotion or my dominant emotions through the day, because we all have that. And if you start paying attention, you will see them. Sometimes I catch myself with frustration because things don't progress as fast as I want. Then I know it's time to work on patience. So what are your 2 to 3 dominant emotions through the day that are recurring from day to day? And at the end of the 90 days, the 3 months, okay, I would examine that again and compare the two. But make sure you do it every day. I mean, something happens, you skip a day, it's not the end of the world, but not more than that. And see where you are. And I won't have to convince you, nobody will, because you will see it yourself. And by the way, saying, I know that, I've heard that, it's too simple, is nothing more than a subconscious resistance to change. And you may even ask yourself, why am I resisting change? Why do I want things to stay as they are? And see what comes up for you. One other impact I would like to talk about is, of course, the energy impact. Because on the elevator of energy, if you stop at the level of gratitude, if you stop at the gratitude floor on a regular basis, you're going to encounter people, situations, and things that which make you for which you could be even more grateful, to say thank you for. So that's the energy level. You're going to resonate at the level of thank you, I'm blessed, and therefore attract even more blessing. So that said, it's great, it's terrific. You know that gratitude has so many benefits, and that on Thanksgiving, but also any other day, it's great for you to practice gratitude. It will change your life. But you still can't find a way to do it. You feel ridiculous. You feel irritated because you don't feel anything that you have to say thank you for. Where do you start in a case like that? Well, what I have I almost said my patients. They're not my patients, they're my clients. Because I also do Reiki, and with Reiki, they're clients and patients at the same time. So with my clients, I have them buy a notebook, a tiny notebook, and have them divided in categories. Because if you start listing stuff, you won't run out of ideas. And there are days where you don't feel to be grateful for, I don't say, the people you love in your life. Maybe they irritated you too much. You can't see a thing. Or maybe you've said thank you for them so many times, for so many things, that it's not alive in you anymore. Because when you do that gratitude, you need to feel it. You need to feel the heart opening. If that doesn't do it for you, so you would have a category that is people I love. And to start listing, I am grateful for XYZ person in my life. And you can even go deeper a level. You can be grateful for certain traits or aspects of them. Or you can be grateful for activities you do with them. So that's already quite a few to be grateful for. Another one thing that I always love is the amount of variety that there is in that world. When you start looking around you, look at so many kinds of trees, so many kinds of birds, flowers, even houses, tiles, clothes. The variety is almost endless. Imagine if we had a world where everything was the same, how boring it would be. That's something to be grateful for. You can have a category for experiences that you had. Travel experiences, parties that you went to, conferences, any kind of experience, a healing experience, a meditation experience, any kind of experience that really stood out for you, that you remember as a happy memory. You can have, so we said the variety of clothes, food, shoes, which is a big one for me, movies, books, etc. You can have a category for health and start listing all the things you can do that you take for granted. Jumping, climbing, running, dancing, cooking. Some people have arthritis in their hands, they can no longer cook. Seeing, some people have lost the sight. And you don't even need to go there where some people did. It's just a blessing in itself. You can see beauty in the world. That's something that I'm grateful for on a regular basis because I'm very sensitive to beauty. Beauty in all forms, in art, in nature, in people, in music. So rich. So in the health category, you can have so many things. The fact that you can walk and have feet that work perfectly, you can wear the shoes that you love, you can go places. The fact that your legs carry you every day. You can be grateful for your legs. And what will make it even stronger, put your hand on your leg and say, I'm grateful for my leg, and send love to your leg. You can be grateful. You can have a category for anything that is material in this world. Your car, your house, your job, your everything. And you can pick depending on what day how you feel during that day. So I just gave you a few examples, but the list can be long. You can have a category for you. What do you like in you? Or what could you like in you? I'm grateful for my hair. I'm grateful for my sense of humor. I'm grateful for the way that I am so alive in the world. I'm grateful for being a passionate person. So many aspects of you. And if you don't know where to start, just list all the aspects of you. If you still don't know, ask people around you. What do they see and like in you? Put it on your list. So there is no more, I don't know where to start now. As you see, there are so many ways to approach it. It can be memories, it can be stuff that you want to do. Saying thank you in advance, like I mentioned, is very powerful. And really use that power of gratitude because it will change your life. When you can look for the gift in a challenge, it will change your experience. You will be more resilient, you will be able to overcome your challenge better. I know that when I had trouble with my kids, it forced me to watch them more, to be really conscious about what was going on, and that made me closer to them. That made me want to think about more activities to do with them. We always have done hiking and traveling a little and cooking and sometimes watching family movies, but there are so many other things like board games, charades. So there was a positive impact in that challenge. The fact that I got depressed to a point where I was drowning in my anxiety brought me to gain more mastery on my thoughts and find tools to intervene on a body level, on a nervous system level. Now, when something happens that's really, really challenging, something that is really serious, it will throw me off the horse for a few hours and then I'll get back in. bouncing back so much faster, with so much more ability to see the good in the situation and to be open to have access to my inner resources and the resources of the universe. It's really, really beneficial to practice gratitude for so many things in your life. So I hope that you are going to give it a try. And if you're already doing it, make sure you do it on a regular basis and add fun in it. You can add craziness. You can be grateful for the color red. You can be grateful for, I don't know, doing silly faces to the people you like, if that's your style. You can be grateful that you can embarrass your kids so easily in a store. I love doing that. I start dancing, they go crazy. They're like, Mom, don't do that here. I love that. So I'm grateful that I have this impact and that they react that way because it's so funny. We laugh about it after. So I hope it helps you. And I wish you a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope you have many blessings to say thank you for. I hope you have great food, even during this pandemic, that you'll be able to see the blessing in Thanksgiving, even if it's a little bit different than other years. If you have less people at the table because we need to keep distance and we don't want to invite the entire street, there are still blessings. And even if you have to be alone, but do a tele Thanksgiving, like a video Thanksgiving with someone. You know what? In olden times, they didn't have FaceTime, they didn't have Zoom, they didn't have anything to see each other. Today we have this blessing. So enjoy it. Take advantage of it. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I am thankful for you listening to my radio podcast. See you next time, or talk to you next time. Bye. If you like this podcast, please review and rate it on iTunes and share it with your friends.